Hi, welcome to the semifinals of the World Bridge Games in Poland, and this is the women's event. And we were playing China in the semifinals, and they actually had to play a pretty tough match against England to get here. England, I think, was the team that won this event 4 years ago. I think this is a once every 4 year event. Anyway, I was pretty happy to see China in the semifinals. Just, my parents are Chinese, and I have a few, not a lot, I guess. I have a few friends who are Chinese bridge players and all that. So it's gonna be a good match and hopefully a pleasant and fun match too. So we started with our usual lineup. I was playing with Beth, and Janice and Toby were at the other table, and we played against Wenfei Wang and Qi Shen and Yan Liu and Yan Lu at the other table. And I could try to pronounce their names the Chinese way, but in actuality, I don't know what the tones are for for their names, so I won't even bother. So right off the bat, um, we start. Beth opens one club on her 17 count because we played 14 to 16 no trumps, and I bid one spade. She bid two no, and I have an 8 count for triple three. But we are playing imps, so 3 no it is. If you took away like my queen of spades or whatever, I would have more of a decision here, but. Anyway, South has an interesting lead problem because we've bid both our suits. What she decided to do is just lead a spade. Um, and I'm not entirely sure if any lead is really going to really matter here. Yeah, if it turns out if she does lead a red suit, then they have the possibility of beating it. But it's pretty deep to lead from queen and one or queen third, so she went ahead and led a spade, and Beth went up with the queen. And now she set about knocking out the ace of clubs, and they shifted to the jack of diamonds, but it was too little too late. Beth could win and just drive out the king of spades because she could count 9 tricks. And a similar thing, I'm sure, happened at the other table. So, push board to start off with. Pretty uninteresting board, but always good to start with a plus score. So, the next board, I opened one club, and Beth bid one spade, and I bid two spades. Now, if we had been playing precision, we were playing a very aggressive style, but not precision, so I couldn't really do anything else but bid two spades with my hand. As it turns out, Beth, of course, only has a 7 count, but the hand is so friendly, and we have a singleton diamond opposite 3 small, that if you look, we only have 1, 2, 3 definite losers, and the spades were 2-2 and the clubs came in, so nothing to it. Anyway, so against 2 spades, South led the jack of hearts, which Beth won with the queen, and now of course you can see that with the 9-8 on the board, she has a finesse against the 10 of hearts. So she played a diamond, probably just to see what the opponents would do. They played a diamond back, and now she decided to try a couple rounds of trumps here. And when the trumps broke, life is good, right? So now she played a club to the ace and took the heart finesse. And when North wins, of course, North can't really damage her by playing clubs. So without much better to do, so North could have cashed the king of clubs to hold us to 4 tricks, but of course we're playing imps. You want to hold out some hope of beating it, I suppose. So she played back a heart, and now Beth was able to pitch both her clubs and ruff her diamond for making 5. And again, a push board with the other table. Making 5, obviously, you get a little alert. You look and be like, wait, did we miss a game here? But I could very easily see that Beth had only 7 high card points, and this was just kind of like a magic hand. So next board, North opened 1 no trump, and South is a normal transfer and drop. And I believe Beth chose to lead the queen of clubs. Second choice, of course, would be the jack of hearts. She may have decided to lead the queen of clubs just because I had the option to double hearts and didn't do so. But whatever the case, Declare played low, and I didn't have enough information to unblock the king of clubs, nor did I really feel that I had the need to, because I could see that if I did get in on the next club trick, then I could play a diamond through, which seemed like it couldn't possibly hurt. So I went ahead and played a 7 and Declare ducked, and Beth continued a club. So now Declare, not sure what her best play here is really. Um, it might just be to draw some trumps and hope for the best, but she decided to play a heart up and try a diamond up, which I threw in the jack of diamonds. We played basically when I split honors, I like to split 0 to higher, so my partner would know that I have the jack plus another honor underneath it, but then I don't have the queen. Or alternatively, I might have like ace, queen, jack if I decided to play the jack, which I don't really feel like you would, but in this position anyway. So Declare covered and partner won, and knowing that I had the 10 of diamonds, played back a diamond. And I could see that if she didn't have the 9 of diamonds, it didn't really matter which diamond I played. So if she did have the 9 of diamonds, I just threw in the 7. So now Declare tried to ruff a club to the board. Oh no, sorry, she played a club and she pitched her losing diamond. So I shrugged and I pitched my diamond behind dummy. And as you can see, it's kind of funny, on this hand I have the exact same shape as dummy, and I have like spade spots over most of dummy's spade spots. So the hand is pretty unfriendly. So partner won this trick and, for lack of much better to do, continued the jack of clubs, which was ruffed and over ruffed. And so I potentially I could have played the queen of hearts here, but again it didn't really seem like it was going to matter so much because Declare's play has basically marked my partner with the king of spades. So I think it's possible Declare could have done a little better here, so maybe I needed to play the queen of hearts. If I play this and she goes up with the heart and then plays a spade up, and now when my partner plays the heart, I'm going to be end played into giving dummy more than I need to, possibly, but maybe not. Maybe it doesn't even matter. Anyway, so she played the 6 of diamonds here. My partner covered. This was ruffed and over ruffed. Oh, and then now I cashed the queen of hearts and played a spade to my partner's king, and then I still had the ace 10, but of course Declare has the jack of spades still. So I don't think it really matters if I unblock the queen of hearts or not. Anyway, 2 spades down 3, and at the other table they played 1 no trump down 1 when North did not upgrade to a strong no trump, and then South decided to just let her play 1 no trump. So we picked up 3 imps here. So next board, Beth opened 1 club in 3rd seat. South overcalled a heart on quite a strong hand here. And I had a minimum negative double, so I made it. North bid 2 diamonds, which looks like it's natural. And my partner bid 2 spades because we have a fit. And I think South took quite some time before passing this out. But in the end, she decided to just defend 2 spades. Now, in 2 spades, they led heart, heart, and another heart, and Beth ruffed. Pretty normal so far. She tried a club up, and then a spade up, and it went queen, which looks pretty scary. So Beth decided to duck this, and now North was in and played another club, and South was able to ruff this. And notice that South didn't lead their stiff club or shift to it, just because their trumps are so strong that they didn't really need ruffs. Like, if you look, all their trumps are just natural anyway. So now they're in again, and they shift to a diamond, and Beth went up with the ace and tried to split trumps now, I think. Oh no, she just played a club. Let's see. I see, she has a club finesse to take here, so I guess she was concerned about getting to the dummy again. So now she took this, and South ruffed and cashed the ace of spades and played a diamond. And so Beth went down 2, which is a much worse score at match points than it is at imps, at least. and I could see that they were going to be able to make four hearts. Who knows if they would ever get there, but it was there if they did get there. So I didn't think it was going to be a big loss or anything like that. In fact, we lost one imp when they played a part score in hearts, making four. So next board, North opened a diamond, a heart, a spade, a no trump. So here I had an interesting lead problem. I don't like to lead a spade on this kind of deal, so I think what I did was I decided to lead a diamond. And here I chose to lead a high diamond just because the strength is more to my left. So, if in case South has something like Jack and 1, then I definitely don't want them to be able to scoop their Jack. It's not as likely that dummy is going to hit with the Jack and South is going to have the ace. So I led my high diamond, Queen of Diamonds, and Declare went up, which is very suspicious looking, and partner played the 5 of Diamonds, which, I could see was encouraging from my hand, but I suppose didn't really let me know exactly what was going on in Diamonds, and Declare followed with the 6. So now they set about driving out the club, and I didn't see any particular reason to duck this first club, just because I couldn't duck the second club anyway, so, just in case it wasn't like South had like a 5-card club suit, then I just took the first club for no particular reason not to, I thought. And just in case South had Jack and 1, I continued the King of Diamonds, and a diamond to my partner's hand. And now Beth made a very interesting play here. So she played back the 6 of hearts, and now I think if Declare if shoves in the Jack of hearts, she might have, let's see, if she plays the Jack of hearts, she's going to have 2 hearts, 4 clubs, and a diamond for 7 tricks. But understandably, she did not do that. I guess Beth was worried that she played back the King of Hearts and Declare played the ace. Now the heart position is of course marked, and then later when she's in, she's going to get end played into playing either a heart or a spade to give Declare the extra trick. So she played back a low heart, and Declare stuck in the 9, and I played the 10. So now I cashed my diamond, and partner pitched the 6 of clubs, which was kind of not worth anything for her. And now I didn't really know what the heart position was. I didn't know if it was safe for me to play a heart back. So I just exited the 9 of clubs, figuring that Declare, wasn't going to have 7 tricks. Otherwise, she would have had 7 tricks. So I played a club, and Declare now tried to steal her 7th trick by playing a spade up to the king and ace. And now if Beth knew what was going on exactly in spades, we could take a couple more spades, but she played back the King of Hearts, and Declare cashed out for down 1. So a pretty intricate defense here, actually. At the other table, they got to 3 clubs, which is much easier and probably can't be beaten. Let's see, 1 diamond, 1 spade, 1 club, and then a trick in the wash. Okay, so here's the first of my 2 terrible boards this set. So it goes pass, and I had a nice 14 count. I opened 1 heart, and North bid 2 no trump, and my partner bid 4 clubs, which is obviously a splinter here, and South bid 5 clubs. And so I thought I was in kind of a problem here. First of all, I don't feel like we're in a force, because I don't think that Beth is allowed to set up a force as a passed hand. So it wasn't like I could pass 5 clubs, to say like, hey partner, what do you want to do? I could see from my hand that, Beth being a passed hand and me having most of my values in hearts and also only queen 10 third of clubs, 5 clubs wasn't going to go for more than our game making, basically. I also was mildly concerned that Beth might have a club void, because she was a passed hand splintering to the 4 level, and we opened very aggressively. So I knew that the most possible high card points she could have with a void would be like 10, because we definitely open like all our unbalanced 11s. So did I say with a void? I meant with a stiff. You know, if she had a stiff club, then she could only have like up to 10 points, right? So then she would have to judge that her hand was good enough to splinter to the 4 level, red on white opposite a 3rd seed opener, which could also be light. So I think that if I constructed more hands for her, you know, I would just feel like percentage is probably that we're not making 5 hearts, because I would need her to have actually the club void, in which case we're doing pretty well. If she does have a club void, we're doing quite well in 5 hearts most of the time, because her values rate to be in spades. But if she does have the club singleton, it's going to be very dicey in 5 hearts. So I think that double here, even though I know I'm not going to compensate for my game, I kind of just have to take the money. It might be worth like a forcing pass, in which case partner might bid to the 5 level if they do have the club void. But at the table, my thinking, I didn't quite get to the part where we weren't that likely to make 5 hearts. So I did bid 5 hearts, hoping that we would make it. And looking at from my hand, like we probably were only going to be getting 300 against 5 clubs. And if they needed to, they would be able to guess the clubs because my partner had advertised a stiff. So they led the king of clubs and partner put down a pretty disappointing dummy for me. I have 2 top losers and I have to navigate the spades and the diamonds for no extra loser. So here at trick 2, if they shift to a high spade, that's the legitimate down 2 beat, because now South can duck the spade, and then when North gets in with the diamond, they can play another spade. But what she actually did is she shifted to a trump, and so now I could have gotten out for down 1 if I wanted to play for that. So my options here, I think, for trying to make this contract, so I could have played for king and 1 diamond onside, which just seemed like so unlikely. Like it really felt like the king of diamonds was on my left. But maybe that's the better percentage thing to play for, right? The other thing that I could play for is something like Jack 9 doubleton of spades onside, or Ace Jack doubleton. Basically, play for the spades to come in for 4 tricks so I can pitch my diamond. As you can see from the layout, neither of those were going to work, but I decided to play a spade up, figuring that since North didn't shift to a spade, she looked like she kind of had the ace of spades. So if she did have the ace of spades, then, you know, there was hope. But she didn't. So I played a spade to the king, which was ducked, but, you know, now I could basically see that, you know. So here, now I tried the second line, hoping for a king and 1 diamond onside, and this was also not to be. And she played a spade, and doesn't really matter which card I played. They cashed, and I claimed for down 2. It wasn't like a no-play contract, just like basically like a super anti-percentage contract. So I was pretty disgusted for bidding 5 hearts on this hand when dummy came, and was, you know, quite a disappointment. I still feel like it's not like a 0% action. Certainly if partner hadn't had a club void, I would be in pretty good shape, but probably just not very percentage here. So that was bad, and I could feel that it was bad. So next board, Beth opened 2 no trump. I transferred to hearts. She bid hearts. I bid no trump. She passed. And now they led the 10 of clubs, and it went low, low, jack. And now Beth has a safety play in clubs regardless of what the layout is, by just playing a club to the 9. So what she did was she unblocked the hearts and then went ahead and did that. And so then when they played a diamond back, she has 9 tricks. So she has 4 clubs, 1 diamond, 3 hearts, and a spade. Obviously the clubs were coming in for all the tricks, and then she could have set up a spade trick, so she could have made another couple of tricks, which is what they did at the other table. So next board, here Beth is a normal opener for once, and opens 1 club. I bid a heart, they throw in a double, and now she bids 2 hearts, which ends the auction. So they led the ace of spades against me, and now they continued the three of diamonds, which was nice to see. And here, I think that I didn't really have much to do on this hand, so I just went ahead and drew trumps, playing north for possibly having short hearts here. So I played heart, and when the jack popped up, I won the king, and now I set about playing other things. And she cashed her heart, and I conceded a club and a spade for making two. Nothing board. So board 9. Now North open one spade, and South bid a forcing or semi-forcing no trump. And I made kind of an aggressive takeout double here, at red on white especially. But I felt like this was my best and possibly only opportunity to get in here. And I don't know how light the Chinese precision pairs open, but if you ever play against an American precision pair, like, you just have to get in there because they're just opening all sorts of crap. And if you don't get in there, you guys will be cold for game and just miss it. So I doubled, and North, of course, has nothing to bid over my double, so my partner bid two hearts, and played it there. And in two hearts, she led a spade, and Beth went up and set about drawing some trumps. So she drew 2 rounds of trumps, and now played a diamond. And North could maybe see that, the diamond, there might be a diamond guess, so she chose to go up with the king, which actually was not necessarily ideal on this board, just because South had ace and 1, so might have been able to obtain a ruff. But she did go up with the king, and now shifted to the queen of clubs. And now Beth played another diamond, and North played low. So Beth correctly divined the diamond position here, and stuck in the 10, and it went ace. And now South tried to cash a club. This did not work. Beth drew the last trump and ran her diamonds for making 9 tricks. And at the other table, without the takeout double, North has a normal 2 club bid, which got raised by South, so they managed to get to their 9-card club fit here. With the takeout double, I think just bidding 3 clubs is not impossible, but it's a little scary, because you do have 3 hearts, and you are, it would be really bad if you caught your partner with a stiff club, and now your lefty has all the clubs, and you're going for 300 on a nothing board. Okay, so here's the second hand that I would really like back. So Beth opened 1 diamond, I bid a spade, and she bid 2 spades. So I bid 2 no, asking about her hand. I had a 13 count, so, I wanted to play a game. And she gave me, like, a really unfortunate answer here, which was that she had a 3-card minimum. And our style is that we only really raise on 3 unless if we have shortness outside. So just looking at my hand, I felt like her shortness was probably in clubs. Of course, it might have been in hearts. That's definitely a possibility, but I thought that if she did have heart shortness, the opponents might have shoved in like some heart bids at some point in the auction, considering our hearts would then be 3 small opposite singleton. And the other thing, of course, is that if she did have heart shortness, she might have been able to rebid 2 clubs on her hand rather than 2 spades. So anyway, just based on our style, our tendencies, it really felt like she had club shortness. I didn't know for sure, of course. So I could see from my hand that I had a very bad hand for my partner with club shortness. So first of all, I don't have a club stopper, so 3-no is not really going to be a great spot. But I can also see that just because we're not going to have the assets, like she showed a minimum and we open aggressively, so she's not really going to have a particularly great hand either. So 4 spades is not going to be any picnic. So here I just bid 3-no pretty confidently, hoping, or with the hoping that, the opponents might lead the wrong thing, misdefend, maybe partner hits with like something helpful, or we can have 9 tricks or whatever. I just hope for the best. But I was pretty sure I was just going to go down in 3-no or 4 spades. And I thought 3-no might go down less. Because when things get really bad in 4 spades, when you're on the 4-3 fit, the opponents might double and, you could go for like 500. Or, if trumps are just breaking poorly, you lose control of the hand, you go for a lot of hundreds. 3-no probably, at most down 1, down 2. That was my thinking when I bid 3-no. So North thought for a really long time and led the 4 of spades. And here I made like the worst play ever. So basically I think that leading from the Queen of Spades here would be suicidal for anyone. So I think that the correct play is just to play low at trick 2. But here, I was still kind of resigned to the fact that I was just planning to go down in my contract, and I could see that partner, of course, had no clump stopper for me either, so I would have to, I would need diamonds to run from my perspective, so that would give me 5 diamonds, 2 hearts, and 2 spades. So, I just shrugged, like if the diamonds ran, I thought maybe I would get an extra trick by sticking in the jack of spades, so that's what I did. But if you'll notice that because of the friendly club layout and the fact that North wins the diamond trick, they can never actually attack clubs. So North could have led a club, but that would have given me a club trick, and then they would have had 3 clubs and a diamond for only 4 tricks still, basically. And I would be able to have 4 diamonds and 2 spades, 2 hearts, and 1 club for 9 tricks. So North did well to stay off the club lead. But here, with the diamond layout, I need a 9th trick somewhere. So, it's reflexively, it's natural to play the jack of spades, but on the auction that we had, I think just North to lead from the Queen of Spades here would just be suicidal. So I think that it's correct to play low, and here this would pay off when South has Queen and 1 spade. But anyway, went Jack, Queen, King. And I shrugged and played some diamonds. And when the queen dropped, I shrugged and played another diamond, and now North was in again. So now North cashed the ace of clubs and continued the 10 of spades, which I ducked because couldn't really hurt me to duck, and now they shifted to the 4 of hearts. And now South had pitched the 5 of hearts already on the 3rd round of diamonds, so basically that was not good for the heart finesse prospects here. So I could postpone that until later. Let's see. Some light is going on my thing. How do I get rid of it? How to get rid of this light? Where is it even coming from? Whatever. I will just look like a fairy floating off into heaven for a little bit. Okay, so I won the ace, and then cashed some diamonds. I was hoping like maybe, there's some chance of end playing something. Of course, the problem is that my entries were a little screwed up, and also like I can't throw North in with a spade, of course, because then they could just cash the extra club. So I played a spade up and they didn't break. I played a heart up and they showed out, so kind of not really much hope here for making 3 once I stuck in the jack of spades at trick 1. So this felt pretty bad. But I could also kind of see that we were in a pretty dumb spot, 3-0. Like, we were only in 3-0 because, like, I just thought that no contract was going to be making on this board. So, figured that possibly the opponents would play a part score or maybe something down also. Alright, so on to board 11. So this board was actually quite entertaining. It went past and I opened 1 spade. Which on this really, really good hand, I've never seen a better hand in my life, probably. But like, I had shortness, 14 count, pretty decent spots. I just kind of loved my hands. So North preempted 3 clubs, pretty normal, and Beth made a negative double. And the goal here is that she has a limit raise in spades, but her negative double will allow her to A, get hearts into the picture, and then show that she has a spade raise with a decent hand when she gets to bid 3 spades. And of course, if I bid at the 4 level, for some reason, she'll just preference to spades. So here, in the like a long time ago, I may have tried like 3 no trump, but I thought I would just bid 3 diamonds and see what she had, because sometimes you do make this negative double kind of light, and I was short in her suit, so I did not want to force us to game if she didn't actually have that much. So I bid 3 diamonds, and now she bid 3 spades. And so from my perspective here, she went out of her way to show hearts. She negative doubled with trump support, which means that she has some clubs over there, because I might have left in the double of 3 clubs. So I could see no reason to play 4 spades. So I bid 3 no trump, hoping that even if we only had 1 club stopper, that I would end up with 9 tricks. So it went pass, and here South made like a super good double, because if you'll notice, 3-no is cold if North leads a club. In fact, it'll even make an over trick, because on the club lead, I'll scoop my king of clubs, and South will have no way to get to her partner when she's in with her spade winners. So, what South's double here, it's kind of like a Leitner double against a slam. It called for an unusual lead, and here the unusual lead would be Dummy's implied suit, which was hearts. So, you can see from her hand that her hearts aren't that great. So she really is taking a shot here. Her lefty had bid spades, diamonds, and no trump. So almost certainly all the heart honors are on the right. And hopefully her partner had something in clubs that she could get to and have hearts led through twice, and she could see that we had a spade fit that wasn't breaking. So, all these things, like, this was like a really, really good double, because without it, basically 3-no is cold. So I may have had a redouble here, showing doubt, but at the time she doubled, I just shrugged and was like, whatever, I guess 3-no is going down, but I didn't really want to play 4 spades for the reasons that I stated earlier, that it seemed very scary, what with partner having some clubs over there, and then like maybe roughs are happening and whatever. So I just passed. And Beth thought for a while, but I wanted to play 3-no, and if her hand looks like anything, it looks like 3-no trump. So she also even had some pretty decent heart spots, so if I didn't show any doubt, maybe I have the stiff jack of hearts or something like that, that's going to help her out. Or maybe, declare, or I have the ace of clubs, which would be good enough to keep them from getting more heart tricks than they're entitled to. So anyway, everyone passed, and here we are, 3-no doubled. And they led a heart. So I shrugged, and I played the king, and of course, South ducked, because her plan is for North to be able to get in and play a heart to her. So now, I had to decide how to play the spades. So I could see, what exactly is going on here. Obviously, South has ace, jack, 9, some number of hearts. And North has the ace of clubs, ace, queen, whatever, some number of times, okay? So actually, if North had ace, queen, 7th of clubs, giving South a club void, I was still going to be called for my contract, as long as I could bring in spades for only one loser. And the other important thing is that I would prefer that South win the spade trick rather than North, because obviously a danger is if North can get in and play a heart through. So I had a few ways to play the spades. I could play spades for Queen Jack third in the South, which is the correct thing to do then is, of course, just bang down Ace King of Spades and a spade, and South will be in. I could play South for all the spades, Queen Jack 10 fifth, and just take a couple repeated spade finesses. I could play South for Queen Jack 10 fourth, do the same thing, or I could play South for Queen Jack or Queen 10 fourth, and North for like an honor, hopefully an honor. Lots of options here for what to do. And ultimately, I kind of decided that South didn't have Queen Jack 10 fifth of spades because she didn't really give it that much of a thought about doubling three spades or anything like that. So I decided her spades weren't actually that great, but that she was very likely to have a spade stopper because her hearts also aren't that great. So I thought I'd just lead a spade up and see what happens. Sometimes they split from Queen Jack 10, but there was no split, so I went up and it went 10. And so now, again, my options here are to play for North to have Jack 10 doubleton or Queen 10 doubleton, or for this to be stiff 10. And restricted choice, of course, suggests that it's stiff 10 in conjunction with the preempt and the double. So I exited the 8 of spades to try to set up my spades. And South won and played back the 9 of clubs, which of course I ducked. And North was alert enough to overtake, but here now she got a little greedy, which is that if her partner had another club, she would be able to play a heart through, get a club through, and then run her clubs, then play another heart through, and basically we would be limited to like 4 tricks or something like that. But if she does cash the ace of clubs, then she will beat us here. But she didn't cash the ace of clubs before playing a heart. And so I was kind of like, ooh, because now I'm definitely making this contract unless North just preempted a 5-card club suit for some reason. So I played the 10 for no reason, just in case 10, and pitched a club, because if I don't pitch a club, obviously I'm not going to have 9 tricks. This is just kind of like, either I'm going down a lot or I'm making it. So South thought for a while, and I claimed basically like, look, if you don't have another club, you can take the ace of hearts or not, doesn't matter. So then she didn't have another club, so then we made 3-0, which was obviously a pretty good result here. So I like to tell myself that maybe my stupid play in bidding earlier influenced like these future plays. Anyway, a very exciting hand. Next one, North opened a strong club, South bid a no trump, North bid 2 spades natural, 2-0, 3-0. So I led the Jack of Hearts, which was Rusino. Partner encouraged, and Declare won. And now Declare made a very weird play here. I'm not sure why she did this, because I think if she just sets about doing something else, such as going after spades, for example, she'll always make her contract. But now she played a heart to the 9, which was just super weird. I think that possibly she thought that in order for me to lead a high heart here, then I would have Queen Jack 10, so she was hoping to establish a heart trick. I guess she's never played against me before, because I do often lead high from these holdings, because if you might you might blow a trick leading low when there's like honor 10 doubleton or something like that. Anyway, so she played a 9-10, and now she's not in a great position. So partner played back the 3 of diamonds, low, and I played the 7, just covered, because why not? Claire won, and now she tried to spade up. Partner won, played another diamond, and Declare is kind of screwed here, because she can't cash the last diamond without setting up the spades, because then Beth could run the diamonds, but if she doesn't cash the last diamond, the diamond gets stranded in her hand. She doesn't have 9 tricks. So she played the 10 of spades, which Beth ducked here, and now she played a heart to the ace and set about drawing trumps here. And Beth, not drawing trumps, not drawing the spades, sorry. And Beth won the king of spades and played the king of clubs. Um, and now on the queen of spades, Beth needs to pitch the queen of clubs here so that I will be able to take the last two tricks. But when she didn't, she was forced to declare the last diamond here. Which was unfortunate, but we could both see at least that Declare made like a very strange play at trick 2, so she could just always make this contract just by working on spades immediately. So next board, North opened 1-no trump and South transferred to spades, and I had an interesting decision here. I could have bid 3 hearts directly. Or I could have doubled to show that I had hearts and just passed. I could have doubled to show that I had hearts and bid diamonds or something like that. Lots of options. Could have doubled. I think I chose like the worst option, but it's not unusual when you're playing in the heat of the moment. You don't necessarily do the best thing that you can do when you're analyzing it from the kitchen table at home. So I doubled, and North redoubled, which I forgot what they show with that, but anyway, so it went pass, and South passed. Or South bid 2 spades, and here, one of the reasons that I chose to double is that I wanted to sort of see what was going to happen next, because if the opponents were going to be having like a game forcing auction, then I thought doubling and not bidding was probably okay. So now South is just bidding 2 spades, signing off, so I thought my hand probably was worth another call. The only question is, what call is it worth? And I decided with such few high cards and a spade void that double is probably not the right thing to do. So I didn't do that. And 3 diamonds was a possibility, but eventually I just decided to bid 3 hearts. And no one could double me, which was great. They led the jack of diamonds, and I was too scared to duck this trick because bad stuff could happen. So I went up with the ace and dropped the stiff king, and now I was too scared to take heart finesse because bad stuff could happen in diamonds now. So I just banged down ace king and the queen dropped and played the jack of hearts and then drove out the diamond and was down 1. So I was very lucky on this board. Also very lucky that best spades were terrible, so that 2 spades was makeable. But I don't think I took the best actions on this board at all. So now, Beth opened 1-no trump. I bid Stayman, North doubled for the lead. She bid 2 hearts. I bid 4 hearts. And if you'll see, 4 hearts is almost entirely on the spade finesse, because you're going to have a diamond and a club loser, and you are just going to need the spade finesse, but you're going to need few other things too, as you have other losers, but primarily you're going to need the spade finesse. So they led the queen of clubs, and Beth won and played the jack of club up to the jack, and now they played a spade, so she tried the king, which lost, and she shrugged, because now she could see that she was going down. And they played some things, she played some things, and eventually she was able to ruff her losers and claim on let's see what happened here. She ruffed with the 8, and yeah, so she could claim on like a high cross ruff, basically. At the other table, they were not as careful, and so they were in the same contract, down a couple more tricks. So I think this is the second to last board. The opponents had an uncontested auction here. 1-no trump, 2 clubs, 2 hearts, 2 spades, showing an invite, I think. 3-no trump. And Beth here had 5-card suits, so she led it. And North shrugged and, took the percentage play in spades here, cashed the ace, ran the jack, and everything was golden here. And on the run of the spades, Beth kind of has a little bit of an issue. She gets a strip squeeze and played into playing a heart away, and exact same thing happened at the other table. So final board. I opened a heart. North bid 2 clubs, East bid 2 hearts, South doubled, North bid 3 clubs, and it went pass to me, and I was 4-5-2-2 with a kind of a decent hand, so I decided to give 3 hearts a shot. So now North led the 3 of diamonds, which was kind of a scary looking card, because this kind of looks like a singleton, since South doubled to show the other 2 suits. Looks like South might be 4 or 5 in the other suits. So I think that when South throws in the Queen of Diamonds, I can be pretty confident, though, that the 3 of Diamonds is actually from 3 and not a singleton. So I can, cross to take a heart finesse and do some stuff. But I didn't do that. I cashed the Ace of Hearts. And now the 9 dropped. I played a heart to the Queen, which was ducked. Another heart to the King. And now she played a club back. And now life is pretty tough here because my entry to the board is gone. So I could try playing a spade up immediately, but then I would have to lose a club, and anyway, the moral of the story is I didn't play this hand ideally. I think once I win the Ace of Clubs, or even if I duck the Ace of Clubs, and then just try a spade up, that will be better in the long run, because I'll always have a spade loser that I can pitch on the diamond. But anyway, so I decided to take my pitch immediately. And I also accidentally pitched a spade at this point, rather than a club, but it didn't really matter. I just had to pitch something. And now I let a spade up, and I had to guess spades for my contract here. So I played the jack, it went ace, I was like, whoo. They cashed some stuff, and I ruffed and cashed the king of spades for my 9th trick and conceded the last one. So I think that if I played this contract optimally, I could have made like 11 tricks or something like that. But the hand was at least friendly enough that even misplaying it a little bit, I didn't go down. And so that was the first segment that we played. So lots of opportunity for us that we didn't really take advantage of. But we still ended it with 19 imp lead, which was pretty good for the quality of Pritch that was played, I thought. So I was pretty happy to be coming out of that with the lead. Our teammates had quite a good card, and so then we sat out and let our other teammates take over. And so I will see you next time in segment 3. Thanks.